Hi, I'm Coach.
Hi, I'm Honeybee.
And this is part 2 of Liabilities and Assets. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with just basically looking at some of the, we're going to just jump right in. We're going to look at some of the synonyms, right?
Yeah.
To liabilities. Let's look at some of the synonyms to liabilities. Give me that one word, B. Now again, this is liability.
Burden.
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 Debt.
Debt.
Onus.
Oh, what is that?
Onus.
Onus.
Like weight.
Oh, I didn't know what that meant. I'm like, onus. Wait.
You gotta play it off. You gotta play it off. You gotta play it off. I know. It's like
I'm learning too.
Yeah, that's why it's like something on you.
Okay,
you
onus
know,
means weight.
Weight.
All right.
Arrearage.
Ooh.
You know, so again, one that acts as a disadvantage. Mm-hmm. That's a liability.
Yeah.
Right? Get the point? Now let's move over to assets. Now assets are resources that is expected to provide future benefits.
Yes.
Right? And both of these come from Webster. B, she texted me this earlier.
The Webster Dictionary.
The Webster Dictionary, you can go right to them and take a look at
Google.
what does liabilities and assets mean.
Yes.
Right? And some of the acronyms, some of the synonyms to assets are advantages, benefits, credit, improvement, resources, favor, gain, and good. Right? So, what do you think you prefer?
I prefer liabilities or assets.
Exactly. So right there, through the synonyms, through the definitions we gave you, I know you would select assets.
Yeah, I would definitely select
because you want more.
More.
You want more.
Because you're watching this video.
You're watching this video. You know, I had a shirt on today that says, I am becoming.
Yeah.
I am becoming. I had a shirt on. Yeah, I had a shirt on earlier today that said, I am becoming.
Yeah.
And what am I becoming? I'm becoming more every day.
More.
You follow me? And you are becoming more every day. So assets is what we want to focus in on more, further and further. Now when it comes to assets and liabilities, now you have assets and liabilities, they come in many faces, right? But we're going to focus in on financial investments and relationships.
Yes.
Right? So, let's take a look at financial investments and relationships. Now there's 2 points that I want to make when it comes to liabilities and assets. Again, having a frame of thinking to go along with this liabilities and assets. Boom. Knowing when to let go and knowing when to go harder. That's the mission.
Yes.
Knowing when to let go and knowing when to go harder.
Now, when you say knowing when to let go, and knowing when to go harder, is this like in business activities or in relationships or both? All right.
Both.
So knowing
It's
when
like
to
the
let
wisdom, knowing to let go. So I'll give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I give you an example. I give you a current example. I give you all a current example because you've been a part of all these examples that I have, specifically concerning financial investments. I had a financial investment. So again, liabilities versus assets.
Yeah.
I prefer the assets, and I know you do. And it's all, again, leading towards a good quality of life. So now I had a recent financial investment.
Yeah.
Right? I did the comedy show.
Yes.
Right? I did a comedy show here in Atlanta area. And thought it was a really great idea.
Yeah.
I think it was a great idea.
It was a great idea. It was a fun activity.
It was a fun activity. We learned a lot. I had a live band, DJ, I had comedians, come out on stage and do their thing. So it appeared to be a great investment in the beginning, right? It's like theory to practice, right? So the event happened. Right, the first night it went well.
Yeah.
The first night went well, but what happened is, as I said in another video, when you make a decision, you make an investment, you immediately go into assessment mode.
Yep. Yes.
Immediately.
Yes.
So we assessed that first one. Okay. All right. You didn't jump off. because there's no comedy in this whole area. You didn't jump off. However, okay. So the next one, the next comedy show, there
were a lot of negative elements.
It was a lot of negative elements. Comedy started looking different to me now. So I'm getting to interact with comedians and seeing some who don't have material. Starting to look at, some. When you're doing business with a comedian or any vendor, I call them vendor, right? It's a collaboration on this. And what happened is there was elements that were not really connecting the dots. I don't want to explain everything to you. Why? Because, I like to engage. I could be here all day, but I don't think she'll like that. Right? But nevertheless, the elements were the stars were not lining up. There was some negative energies and another thing, the people did not come out at all on the second one.
There was not a lot of people. It was
at
just a
all,
bunch of
and they were
comedians.
not buying drinks
or
anything.
They were in a supportive attitude.
One in a supportive attitude.
So it goes.
Comedians were negative. Come see me.
Yeah.
About the facility I was in. The facility is very swanky too. It was. I don't understand.
So it goes along with you're saying don't make a decision too soon or too late.
Exactly.
So you decided to make a decision to move on from that business venture and let go because it was going to be a liability.
Exactly.
A lot of times in business, I see people trying to hold on and they holding on too long and they're missing other blessings. Yeah. And it's okay. Just move on and move into another business venture. Try something different.
Yeah. Try something different. Or try a different population. Whatever you need to do, know that when to let go is extremely important. Yeah. And when to go hard is extremely important. But that financial investment I knew. I've been doing business for a while. I've been making a lot of decisions. So my wisdom tells me immediately, okay, it's time to go that way. Yeah. You follow me? Either that way is harder or that way is let go. And sometimes we emotionally connected to stuff. Like what people are going to think about us if we stop doing this. Or, this is something I really wanted to do. And if you keep putting your investment in something that's not working, it's going to become... It's going to drain you. And you're going to hate it. And you're going to have a lot of resentment. And it's going to just make you angry. And it's unnecessary. Just move on. And like people do this. Over here, loser, that's actually liability. Yeah. You don't want too many liabilities. If something's not working, know sooner than later when to let it go.
I've actually found that, like, sometimes in business, people are, like, waiting around for you to, like, fail. Yeah. Like, even someone had mentioned to you about the comedy afterwards that it was already being said behind the scenes that that wasn't going to be productive.
Yeah, exactly. So what happened is, as a thinking man, what the mind says it will be. Yeah. So what happened, the same people who said that more than likely didn't come out to spend that money to keep it going. Yeah. You get it? So having people in certain demographics to support your projects can also be a struggle. So that was another element that I was dealing with, and I had to realize that sooner than later. Like, okay, these people in this demographic is not going to support what I'm doing here, even though I got a live band. You can even go to my Facebook, my my Instagram, and see video of some of the things that I was doing with that comedy show. Yeah. But what happened is that was another element. The demographics that I was working with, that population, they were not coming out to spend money and support because they more than likely wasn't in that. We need to support this business so it can flourish. So it became a liability.
You knowing when to move on is an asset. Knowing
that's my personal asset.
Personal asset.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I'm actually learning that from you. So thank you. High five on that one. Knowing when to move on is a personal asset.
So let's move right now into the relationship part. Because in relationships, you have assets in your life right now. Relationships that are assets, and you have relationships that are liabilities. Yeah. Right? People who are not bringing advantage to your life. Yeah. And then you may have those in your life that's bringing assets to your life.
What's the thing? People struggle with your change.
Yeah, people struggle with your change.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like in relationships, you can start going to school.
Yeah.
You go to a training program. You can become the assistant manager, or you can open up a small online business. But remember, you have relationships, and they're not used to that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a struggle.
Yeah.
You're changing. So now the regular routine, whatever y'all usually do on a daily basis, y'all not doing that anymore.
So I just want to touch on that.
Okay.
I just want to touch on this section. When you find yourselves getting ready to start a business, so this is for the people who have these ideas that want to start a business, and you tell your friends, you tell your family members, you may have people that are going to shoot you down for whatever reason and try to instill their own fears or insecurities in you. Don't listen to all of that stuff. Push forward. So the people that are starting business, I'm going to keep it on the eyes. So I'm a small business owner. We own in City Wax Studio in Marietta, Georgia, and we're doing YouTube and we're doing this. And anybody watching this video that knows me knows that I come from humble beginnings. And those who don't know me, I come from humble beginnings. So I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
And in other videos and other story times on our other channels in this channel, you'll get to know a little bit more about me. But for today, the relationship piece is something that I struggle with because back in the day, you have a whole lot of friends. You have all people that you hang out with, and you have family members that you're really close to. And then sometimes when you start to change, you start to move into different ways of life, you see that some people start to drop off, or your relationships, your business relationships, your former coworkers or your family members, they no longer accept you because of this change. They struggle. This says people struggle with your change. Yeah. So you can't hang out with the same people that you used to hang out with. You can't do business with the same people that you used to do business with, because everybody is not on the same page as you. And it's not a bad thing. They're doing what they're doing, and you're doing what you're doing.
You're not wrong, they're not wrong. It's just not right now sometimes.
But the point that I want to make is that sometimes if you feel like isolated or you feel like alone in your life because of your former relationships that you would have with people and you no longer have them, as difficult as that may be, just keep pushing forward, because for me, what gives me the drive to keep pushing forward is to become successful in business. So eventually, I'll be able to help my family, or to do different things with friends of mine or whatever. You can build new relationships. You can build new relationships because the old relationships may become liabilities and not assets for you because of the activities that they may be involved in, or they're
emotionally draining.
Emotionally draining. You just really have to when you want to do business and you want to be successful in business, you have to separate yourself from your old behavior and your old way of thinking. You have to change your mind. So when you change your mind, like sometimes people don't accept you. Along this journey, I've been told, and I'm sure any business owners out there that know, especially when you've come from one way of living to a whole nother way. When you've come from an unsuccessful lifestyle to a successful lifestyle, people will start to judge you and say that you think you better than them, or you forgot where you came from. Those are like the two cliches that I hear all the time, and like some people believe them and then they fail. They don't become successful. So my advice, and I'm going to leave it there, is to not believe the cliches that people have for you. Who cares if they think you better than? Guess what? You are becoming better than some, not people, just the behaviors that come along with an unsuccessful lifestyle. I told you the other day, I don't care if people think that I'm becoming better, because I am becoming better. I'm becoming more. I'm becoming more.
Very good.
And I always try to stay humble because I want to help other people to become better. Like a vessel for my family and my friends to, be inspired to become better. This is not just for me. It's not. It's not just for me. This cannot possibly just be for me.
For sure.
It's for others to want to do better. So in business, you may feel lonely. You might feel a little isolated sometimes, but I'm telling you, it's definitely for assets and liabilities.
Yes.
And for your well-being, because I have peace.
Yeah.
I have peace. Like, sometimes I find myself, not now, but as the change was coming, I would find myself still being around uncomfortable situations, and I'm like, whoa. And I had to box myself in away from the negativity to just really stay focused on, like, tunnel vision. Just really stay focused on what it is that I'm doing.
Leading towards assets.
Leading towards assets. Leading towards assets. You cannot carry everybody.
Yeah.
You cannot do it.
No.
You can't.
No. And you know what? To piggyback off B was saying, you know, sometimes it's not even, you may not even be at that successful place financially, because believe me, we're not there.
You're not
you know, finances. But what happened is, this video we're talking about is a quality of life video. So sometimes people look at your quality of life, which is, that, you're gaining positive relationships. You're respecting the relationship you're having with yourself.
Yeah.
You're respecting your accomplishments that you have obtained.
Yeah.
You finding meaning in life. That's quality of life, good quality of life. So sometimes people are struggling with the fact that you're finding who you are.
Plus, this journey is not easy every day.
No,
and
it's
you
not.
You want to safeguard your hard work. You don't want nothing to come in and wipe it all away.
Yeah, just like this.
Emotionally, mentally, physically, whatever can happen, because you're doing business and you're really trying to have a better quality of life, and you just are like, I cannot have none of that negativity.
And if your quality of life means something to you, the meaningful thing, your quality of life means something to you, protect it.
Protect it.
Because guess what? Others may not respect what's meaningful to you.
Yeah.
And that's where they become a liability.
Just continue to do your business. Continue to grow in your life.
Yeah.
Become an asset in yourself. So, if anybody ever needs, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like I just want to continue to be an asset. So if anybody in the world needs me, you know what I mean? Like,
we're there for them.
Just
like
so I can do,
No, I get you.
Yeah, so you can just continue to be an asset.
What happened is,
so emotional.
It is.
Business is so emotional.
This is extremely emotional.
Life is emotional.
Yeah. So what happened is that when you become an asset, others benefit from that.
Yeah.
But when you're languishing in liabilities, in bad relationships, you become no good for yourself or others.
Yeah.
You follow me?
So you have to know when to be an asset, and you have to know when to separate yourself
from the liabilities.
Yes.
Exactly. So
Thank you, because I did get a little confused. I'm like, okay, I don't want to be an asset.
I know I had to do a little, it's like Run DMC right now.
What does that mean?
Run DMC is like the two rappers, they were together.
Okay.
And it's kind of like it was mixed.
Okay.
It was just flowing.
Okay.
So anyway, so what happened is people may not have, the same level of urgency.
Yeah.
Your level, the success, the quality of life that you want right now, they might not have that right now type of feeling. So it becomes a static relationship.
Yeah.
People commitment levels are different.
Yeah.
In business, you're gonna need committed people.
Committed people.
And you need to know when to let go of non-committed people.
And when you have a non-committed person in your circle and you let them go, don't give up, because there are committed people out there.
I'm giving. Yeah, they are. There are. I became a pessimist a little bit with that. So a lot of projects I'm trying to churn out myself. But B's right. There are still some committed people out there. So I am definitely open. And just stay open, because I've let go a lot of people.
I just was telling him earlier that he has this characteristic where he can just let someone go, and like you're definitely the hiring and firing guy.
Yeah, I mean,
because me, I'll be like, really? I need a little work on that. He'd be like,
No. Again, knowing when to let go. Like, this is a liability in this relationship.
Yeah.
So commitment levels can be different.
Yeah.
Watch out for that. The last thing here is people at times are just not ready for change.
Yeah.
I can't make you change. It has to come from you.
Yeah, it does have to come from you.
You have to acknowledge that when you're working with people in business and in your relationships, your personal relationships, you know, you can want like, excuse my language, you can want like hell for somebody to change, but you can't do it for them.
No, you can't.
And it drags you down when you're trying to change somebody.
It does drag you down.
Best thing for you to do is kind of accept them for who they are.
Yeah.
And
love them from a distance, or if they're not like
if they're not ready,
then just, you know, let them be where they're gonna be.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they become your liability.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to focus in on assets. Okay.
Yeah.
And get rid of some of the liabilities you have in your life. You know, so.
Yeah.
You know,
so I think that's it for today.
Yeah,
do you want to have more liabilities or assets? We say assets. I'm sure you say assets. Just to recap.
You know,
real quickly, just stay strong in your business and don't let anybody, coworkers, mom, dad, sister, brother, uncle, former friends, or even your old way of thinking drag you back down. Just keep pushing forward, because if anybody knows, like I know, if I can do it, you can do it. If you can do it, you can do it. Like anybody can do change. Like Tony Robbins said, and I always like this saying, because I was going through such a tough time, and Coach like used to have me recite this. Everything that you want and need is within you, and I used to have to say that over and over and over again.
all I want,
and all I need is within me. So just stay focused, believe in yourself, and that's it for today. And until next week's episode, how many likes you want this video to get? You always ask for like
I'll bring it down a little bit, 10,000.
No, we're gonna ask for like 50,000 likes, because anywhere between 10,000 and 50,000 we'll be happy. So just like this video.
And what we're gonna do is, when we finish, we're gonna end it off with this here again.
Yeah.
Everyone else, go ahead. You wanna do the thing about the video now?
Yeah, everything, all that.
She like doing like typing.
All that information is in it. All that information is in the description down below. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Just subscribe to the channel. It's not, if you subscribe to the channel, guess what? You get notifications when we put out new videos. So that's a cool, that's a cool YouTube. So subscribe, like, share to all your friends. Every week we'll have a video for you. And thank you for stopping by. We really enjoy this time that we share with you. And until next time, this is...
I'm Coach.
Hi, Coach.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm Honeybee, and this is
his and her blueprint towards a rich lifestyle. See you next time. Boom. That'd be like